Hey guys, thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name is Chris and I just got done watching Glass. And with Glass, it's the ending trilogy for the movie that started it all, Unbreakable. Also continuing on from there, the secret sequel, Split. This will bring together the characters David Dunn, Kevin Wendell Crumb, and Elijah Pierce, Mr. Glass himself. The three have found themselves in an insane asylum where they are being treated for their superhero syndrome. They're being told that this is all in their heads and they need to let go of it so they can be returned to society as regular human beings. And that's all pretty much it without giving any spoilers away. Now I will say, I am an M Night Shyamalan fan to the slightest. I enjoy some of his movies. I do think he got a little hot in his head and produced some not so great quality movies. But hey, he's on the uprise with The Visit, Split, and now what he created here with this secret comic book universe. It really seemed like his return, and I decided to check out this movie at Alamo Drafthouse where they were going to do a marathon of these three movies, Unbreakable, Split, and Glass. And I have to say, I think it was the best way to watch it. Just seeing those movies come together, having them connect, you understand it a lot better just watching it back to back. The good things I can say about this movie is, of course, James McAvoy's performance. He just steals the show every time he's on screen with his 24 different personalities. Every single one of them shine, and there are a lot of new ones here that we didn't get to see in Split. Bruce Willis, while he hasn't been the actor he used to be, he did bring his A game in here and did enough with the character that made me think, hey, this isn't Bruce Willis just playing a version of himself. And the character of Elijah Pierce, played by Samuel Jackson, was also nicely done. He got a little more depth than he did in the previous movies. This is titled as his movie, but I will say he got about a third of the screen time and just as much as the other two cast members. With the movie being titled Glass, I thought he'd be more front and center, and while in the end it still is his movie, he could have had a little more moments to shine. I did think it was interesting that they were bringing back recurring characters like the surviving girl from Split. I thought her story arc was done and complete, and I felt she was kind of unnecessary to this movie. What I think this movie is falling short on is making people very decisive whether it's a good movie or a bad movie, is that it crossed the line from meta, being a comic book movie that's grounded in reality, that what if superheroes would this is how it would kind of interact, to now crossing the line of parody, that you're no longer being meta with your subject, that you're sort of now becoming the butt of the joke, or really parroting comic book movies. And that has a lot to do with the dialogue use here. I always thought it was kind of weird how these comic books in this universe were sort of like ancient texts and were doorways to other superhero beings and stuff of that nature. It doesn't pan out all that well for this film, in my opinion. But even with that stuff said, I'll say I'm gonna be one of those 50% that did enjoy this movie and came out liking it. Not completely loving it, but I did like this movie, and especially those last 10 minutes, I appreciated what M Night Shyamalan was going for and what he was creating and further expanding his little comic book universe here. Because I will say it did intrigue me the way it ended. I'm not gonna spoil it, but I do say it's good enough. It makes me curious. I think it completes this world. It's a nice little ending because M Night himself said he's not gonna make a sequel to this, that this is the ending trilogy and that's it. I'm gonna enjoy it for what it was, trying to appreciate comic book movies and build on that lore. What really saves this movie is the characters themselves and their interactions with one another. And to me, these movies just always feel like they're building to the last 10 minutes that are satisfying but didn't match up to that build-up you were exciting us for. Alright, so for Glass, I'm gonna give action 2 stars here. Like I said, the action isn't always all that great. You do have the Horde and Bruce Willis's character fighting one another, but it's not the best stuff. Comedy in the film, I'm gonna give it 2 stars. This all comes from the personalities that James McAvoy brings on screen. Drama in the film, I'm gonna give it 3 stars just because I do think that ending twist really did seal the film for me and close this trilogy in a nice little way. Horror in the film, I'm gonna give it 1 star because every time we have those backflashes to young Elijah Pierce, I am squealing and there is some blood here and there in this movie. Suspense in the film, I'm gonna give it 2 stars. It didn't really hold my excitement and build my suspense as much as Split did. Casual fans, I'm going to give it a B-. Cinephiles, I'm going to give it a B+. And critically, I'm going to give it a C+. For Glass, I'm gonna suggest you watch this in theaters. But that's just my opinion on the movie Glass. I understand if some of you would be decisive with it and completely hate that ending. I will be making an ending explained on that, so look forward to that on my channel. But let me know what you thought about this movie. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Try to keep it spoiler free down there. Be sure to like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at 3C Film Review. As always, I'm Chris. Take care.